It sounds like a plot straight out of a high-tech thriller.
But the FBI calls it a real-life threat. With thousands of dollars on the line, and a Jefferson Parish business found itself right in the middle of it. Shelley Brown and the Fox 8 Defenders explain what you need to know.
There were checks on my desk to sign, and the first one was for $26,450 to a company I'd never seen before.
Mark Brown, who co-runs a marketing firm in Old Metairie, wasn't just going to sign the business check. He questioned his firm's bookkeeper about it.
She's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm looking at her like she's crazy.
She quickly reminded him the two of them had already gone over that invoice, and more than once over email the day before.
When I said, well, show me those emails, I went to her computer and I looked at it and my eyes got this big, and I'm like, yeah, that's my email.
There was no doubt it was Brown's email with his business signature at the bottom, company logo, address, and phone numbers. But he didn't send any of those emails. Someone else, pretending to be Mark Brown through his email, directed the firm's bookkeeper to pay what was described as an outstanding invoice for professional services for more than $26,000.
He was having a dialogue with her, telling her, as if it were me, telling her, write this check, get this done, or go to the bank and do an ACH and transmit those funds.
The back-and-forth emails started the day before and went on for a few hours. The first one said, kindly pay for this attached invoice and let me know when you are done. Brown's bookkeeper responded, pay when? Tomorrow? 2 minutes later, kindly make sure it goes out today because it's long overdue. As soon as the bookkeeper wrote back, check is ready to print, she got another quick response. I think they only accept ACH or wire transfer at this time. We should have that done. By the way, the check might take too long as they are threatening. Keep in mind, Brown's bookkeeper thinks she's emailing with him, her boss, but really it's some stranger who wants her to do an electronic transfer of money from their firm's bank account to another bank account. The emails continue and each time become a little more intimidating. The firm's bookkeeper writes, Mark, take the invoice to the bank? The transaction is done through the bank? Okay. The response? I don't understand why you can't take it to the bank and do it for us. Trying to do what her boss wants, the bookkeeper answers, I will do it now. But there was one problem.
The bank wouldn't let her do it without me or my partner's approval. Thank goodness.
That's when she got the business check ready for her boss to sign the next day. At that point, it was like a light bulb went off for the real Mark Brown. He remembered getting a questionable email earlier that week.
I had gotten that email on that Monday from a friend who normally doesn't send me emails. And the email said, hey, Mark, open this. So I forwarded that email back to him thinking I'm computer savvy, I know better than this. And I said, did you send me this? And so it immediately came back and it said yes.
Brown clicked on the attachment, and while his own computer security warned him, he still overwrote it. Turns out there was nothing. There was no document. So he went on about his day and just forgot about it.
Realizing this may be how the scammer hacked his business email, he picked up a phone and called his friend who sent the email.
When I called him, I said, do you remember sending me an email last Monday? He said, no, but I have a feeling what you're going to tell me. And his company almost fell for the same scam also. They did the ACH for $26,000, but somebody in the office recognized it and had it reversed that afternoon.
A partner in his marketing firm and a member of the Better Business Bureau's board, Mark Brown wants every business to hear this warning.
These individuals are very intimidating. They want their money now, and they don't want to fool around. They may even act as a boss and indicate that if you don't do it immediately, that you could lose your job. We've heard of cases like that.
The BBB's Cynthia Albert says the scam is a combination of what's known as phishing and spoofing.
Phishing, of course, they're phishing for your money. Spoofing, they want you to think it's somebody else.
But if they have lost some kind of financial, meaning money, time is very important. So I encourage them to call the FBI immediately, and then the next call is to their bank.
The FBI calls the cybercrime a BEC, or business email compromise, a fast-growing trend estimated to exceed over $1 billion loss in the U.S. alone.
The actor gets into either their some type of email account, whether it be Yahoo, Gmail, some kind of communication, and they get in there and they may sit there for a while. They determine your tendencies. They figure out who you're talking to. They get into your Outlook accounts. They figure out who are all your contacts, and they become you. They send emails on your behalf, and you don't even know it's taking place.
In some cases, FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge Drew Watts says an unauthorized wire transfer happens.
That money can be tracked to that next destination. Now, whether it stops at that bank or moves to the next, that's when we have to get involved.
In Mark Brown's case, the con artist provided a checking account number and routing number for a bank out of Pittsburgh. The FBI's had some success in recovering money, but tracking the bad guys can be tough, with many of them outside of the country. At the FBI's New Orleans division, computer scientists are part of a Computer Analysis Response Team, or CART, inspecting computers to try and track down intruders.
If someone in our office through email is telling you something and it doesn't sound right and it sounds like something they wouldn't do, let's get a verbal, let's talk to each other.
The BBB and FBI both say that should be #1 in prevention. Besides having a couple of ways to verify a wire transfer, like a phone call, the FBI suggests you change your passwords regularly. Also, maintain your network and have an action plan in case your business falls victim. A frightening experience Mark Brown and his employees hope all businesses take seriously.
I felt like my computer in my office had been invaded.
For the Fox 8 Defenders, I'm Shelley Brown.
If you've got a consumer issue you want us to address, call the Fox 8 Defenders, staffed with volunteers from the National Council of Jewish Women, the NCJW, or fill out our online complaint form. It's very easy.